Okay, I think we're live again. Welcome to episode 29 of the Clutch Kick. I'm your host, EG, and across the other side of the globe is Greg, broadcasting from Germany. So this week we've got Troy Lipczynski from Lippy Motorsport coming on. He will be on a bit later on, but he just had some delays with food. So, anyway, so to begin with, I don't know if we have any news, but maybe you can give us an update if you've seen anything, Greg.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything. I think just Drift Masters from Riga on the weekend with James Dean winning there. No idea where anybody else placed. Too busy trying to get organised to go overseas. So, yeah, that's it. But I think one of the biggest crowds that they pull for most of their events is at that event. So everybody said if they could run the whole season in Riga, they would all happily do it. Oh, and they did like this cool drive through the street there too. I think James Dean accidentally let the clutch slip and did a bit of a skid down one of the streets.
Is that the course where the guy rolled? There's a video of a car rolling.
I have not seen it.
So he's come in.
I haven't seen it.
He's come in and there's like a little sort of curve to the right, then the curve to the left, and then the road divides. And he's misjudged the transition, and he's overshot the corner, I guess you'd say, because it's only really like a side road, and he's hit the divider part sideways, and so then it's caused him to roll. No.
During a battle or just during a practice run?
No, it wasn't a battle, I don't think. It was just like a qualifying run.
It sounds right, because that's how that track goes. I'm pretty sure it comes back in around on itself. I just haven't seen anything from it.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Anyway. I didn't watch it. What was I? I was busy preparing to go away next week. You must have been busy as well.
Yeah, trying to get organised to head over here. I guess one of the big notable things that did happen this weekend, not exactly drift related, but they held that night race for the first time in a long time in Australia for the V8 supercars at Sydney Motorsport Park, and it seemed to go off fairly well. So there's talk that they're trying to get government funding for permanent stadium-style lights. The only thing that they're having trouble with at the moment from an inside source from the racing community is sort of the flooding of the lights outside of their boundary lines, I guess.
What do you mean?
Even though it's all industrial, because of where they would want to position the lights to make it as cheap and effective as possible, it would cross outside of their boundaries, of their property line, I guess. Like it would be like you can't set up a light in your backyard and have it shining into your neighbour's yard just because, it's on my property, so suck shit, neighbour. But it doesn't make a whole.
Yeah, it's all industrial area. There's a rubbish tip next to it.
There's a tip. There's a drag strip. There's a unless they're worried about the kangaroos or something, I don't know. But if something like that could happen down there, hopefully that would be a good thing for drifting because, I think they want to run more twilight events and events like that. So I guess doubling up on their track time each day. Well, not totally doubling up, but adding another maybe third of a day to their track time would potentially mean that we could get some drift events on the main circuit, or, saying that the venue's booked out isn't really an excuse anymore. So we'll wait and see what comes of that. But the fact that was a success for me is good, and hopefully, more can come of it.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see more drifting at Eastern Creek. Well, actually, that was drifting on the main track would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, and look, and realistically, if they do get proper stadium-style lights, I know they were supposedly talking to the guys who did the new lights for the SCG. It would be like drifting in the daytime almost. So, can't really complain. If anything,
that's really weird that they're getting complaints about lights flooding because you've got sports.
Well, it's not complaints yet, but I think But I think when
worried.
they're trying to get through their DA approval is,
Yeah.
making sure that that's not happening. So I don't know. Considering, it is industrial and then a tip and all that, I just wonder if they're worried about the far end that goes over into the bushy area. But I don't know. Not sure at all.
Oh yeah, because there's
But
a couple of houses in there, isn't there?
there is where the
But
cows
there's
sort of hang out next to the
trees.
tip.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's the
And
power lines, so
then
there's nothing underneath those power lines.
yeah.
There's nothing that direction to the dam, so I don't know. I'm just wondering if it's about wildlife. But look, let's hope something good comes of it, and it would definitely be good for the New South Wales scene if that worked and we got some more track time at night time, nice and local. So yeah. And then I guess going into this weekend, we've got Troy joining us shortly, but final round of DCA for this season. Hopefully a summer season to come. I spoke to Luke a little bit the other day, and he's trying to work on some stuff, but trying to deal with Archerfield and some personal stuff. I think he's moving home again or something like that. So super busy, but I know he's in talks trying to make some things happen for next season. Hopefully late this year starting up. If it all sort of comes to fruition, EG's like, I haven't been told any of this and I'm head judge of the series. But we will, hopefully, that's a sign of things to come once he gets through this weekend. Hopefully it's full gear up for next season and we can get some more info on that before it kicks off.
Yeah.
There are things I'd like to share, but I can't share it yet. And hopefully if it happens, it'll be good news for everybody. And hopefully, a good step for Drift Challenge Australia. I know, I think this weekend there's only 18 cars currently, 16 cars currently.
18, I think it was.
18?
Yeah.
I'm kind of a bit disappointed to only see 2 New South Wales boys heading up for that. I know there'll be a
hopefully
bunch.
there's some last minute entrants.
Yeah, there's a bunch more going up for Cash Kings. I know the following weekend from New South Wales, but
Yeah.
they've all got their bitch pants on and aren't going up for DCA or cars aren't ready or that sort of thing. Do you know if Blake trying to have his car ready for DCA or is he just chalking it up for Cash Kings?
I think his Cash Kings is his goal. I don't think looking at photos of his car, I don't think it'll be ready for this weekend. Well, it could, but it would be sorry, it would be a lot of work.
Yeah, it would be. Oh, it's not. It's getting there, but his car will look cool once it's finished. With everybody, I think a few people have seen a sneak preview of what delivery he's got coming onto that is. So I think it'll be his and a matching car at some stage once Grant gets his act together. If that car ever runs, Grant, if he's still listening.
Does he listen to the show?
Yeah, he's in the chat. He's probably at work, pretending to work.
Pretending to work. I do have I did bring up the championship points for DCA. So there's about 6 people in contention for the championship. So Dale's leading at the moment, and he's got quite a gap. But if he gets knocked out in the first battle, then there is a chance that he'll get knocked out of first place. So it is
when you say the first, but he's pretty much a lock-in for top 3, right? He would have to either qualify 17th or 18th and then get knocked out in that first battle.
So there is a chance. I think I'm only just doing maths in my head. There's a chance that someone could knock him out of top 3 if they qualify first, if that makes sense. So they get the extra 10 points as well as winning. Then that would actually and Dale goes bad. So it's actually a race between those 6 people to get the championship top 3.
Yeah. But Dale basically, if he gets through the top 16, will be a lock-in for a podium finish for the season, right? And that's his world time attack spot.
Well, as long as this other person doesn't get top qualifier and wins, yes. If he gets top qualifier, so he'll know after qualifying whether he gets a spot or not.
Yeah.
So.
And then the others, it's all pretty close and tight to each other. Hopefully Matt Harvey has a bit of a rebound from The little bit of a disaster he had down in Tassie chasing dramas on his car after doing top qualifier and winner of Mount Gambier in the first round, and then letting Dale run away with the last round. So, and then Tom Hemmings is hopefully three South Australian guys, four South Australian guys, a Tassie driver and a Victorian who is now living in Queensland for the top 6 with 3 who can sort of push those guys out. It should be an interesting weekend, and I don't think a lot of people have sort of acknowledged how much pressure is on those top 6 guys to hold those spots
Yeah.
with World Time Attack spots on the line. Like it is World Time Attack spots on the line this year. It's the first time that I think a series has actually been able to say that's your prize. And I think all 6 of those cars would all pass regs to be able to drive at World Time Attack Challenge. So
yeah, I believe so.
So really, it's going to be tough for you guys judging, and then it's going to be tough for those guys to actually hold their shit together. And just try and do what they can do. But it should be a big weekend of just throwing it down. Do we know which way the track's being run yet? Not layout wise, but direction.
No, I don't actually.
Okay.
So usually, what happens is Luke will decide the section of the track being used to be the whole thing, so which includes the direction as well. And then usually I have an idea of the clips that I want to run, and I'll discuss it with the other judges and sort of get their feedback. And then we figure out if we can run like this or if we need to make adjustments and then go from there. So
well, you guys could probably have a bit of a play this weekend compared to Cash King's weekend, because it's a fairly long day, and with only 18 cars, you could probably get a fair bit of track time. So you could probably do a layout that doesn't necessarily continue flow. But I don't know. Luke probably will want to run a layout that you can keep cutting laps during practice. But,
yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, I like being able to flow through things as well. I mean, Mount Gambier is an exception, but because it's run so smoothly, it feels like I don't know how to put this. It feels like you're not sort of sitting there waiting ages like you do at some of the other events. Like when I enter Drift Australia under Super Drift. Super Drift under Drift Australia. That's the wait time between runs could take 20-30 minutes. So it's kind of a lot of downtime. Whereas Mount Gambier, I think I wait there 5 minutes and then I'm off again, even though I'm in a queue.
Yeah, well, it also helps that you're not destroying tyres, so you don't do only a couple of laps that take you 40 minutes and then have to go and change tyres. You could do that pair for half the day or the whole day and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So Sanders reckons there'll be more entrants on the day. Well, hopefully there will be. I would imagine there'll be a couple more Queenslanders would jump in last minute, and hopefully some of the guys from more up the coast of New South Wales jump in, so that we actually have some representation from New South Wales. Not that Logan and Ben are a bad representation for New South Wales. You've got 2 ends of the spectrum there. You've got a big high-tech pro car, and you've got Logan and his KA24 NA Dado. So still well-presented car, but sort of other end of the spectrum when it comes to power. So look. Go.
No, did you see the photos of Logan and some of the video clips that when he was out at Port? Here with the other Dados?
Yeah, one was his brother in Logan's old car in the 100 horsepower one that he had a whinge when you guys just didn't give him... hopefully he's listening to this, when you and Steve didn't give him some leniency for his lack of power, and I think he's come a long way since that first round of Super Drift. And then Jake in the blue car, who is the one who owns Aaron's S13.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they look really cool together. I thought they did really well.
Yeah.
they flowed really well. Like it was only a short clip, maybe 5 seconds or something in a video. That was really cool. And I know Ben. I'm gonna keep pushing Ben to get better as well, and hopefully
Oh,
won't
100%.
punch into the wall
And I
again.
think, yeah, and he's driving high tech the following weekend, so hopefully this is, a good warm up for him to find his feet. I know I messaged him the other day, and he said his biggest concern is remembering how to drive. So hopefully he can get his act together fairly quickly, and then get some nice strong battle practice, and then show up to high tech and make some noise there. Considering he's not driving Cash Kings, he's sort of trying to consolidate his championship, even though he's missed a round of high tech over on at QR on the following weekend. So yeah, look, I would like to see more New South Wales guys. I would probably be up there if I wasn't on the other side of the planet with these two dipshits. But and yeah, but there will definitely be more New South Wales drivers for the following weekend, and I'm going to try and get up there and help out where I can with that. Hopefully Luke will get us an entry list for that as well. I know there's a few bigger drivers doing Cash Kings, but I don't know how public a lot of that is just yet while they're finalising their numbers on that.
I don't know if it's been announced, like all the, because it was like by application, I think, wasn't it? For Cash King. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's finalised yet. I think they're pretty much set, aren't they? But I guess they don't want to make an announcement until.
I just know that they've been super busy, but I don't want to just start dropping names and get in trouble for dropping names that I shouldn't be dropping. But I know there was a couple of big Sydney drivers on the list, and hopefully those guys are still on that list. And I think one or two of them will surprise people as to who's actually driving the event. So hopefully those guys are still on there. Looking at the championship table for DCA2, I think I should safely stay in 29th place. Hopefully, I don't drop any further down the list. I'll probably end up dropping down. I would imagine there'll be a few local guys who get more points than I collected at Mount Gambier.
You know, just thinking about it, there is actually a chance that someone else could get the second and third positions besides those top six. Because if those other guys like fail to qualify or something like that, then there's a chance for the other guys to overtake them in points as well. So
I don't know who's Jackson's listening. You're driving. Yeah, Jackson set a car up, I'm pretty sure. So Jackson could. No, could Jackson push up into? Oh yeah, I guess if those other guys had full-blown disasters.
Yeah, so
and then
up into 11th place, I think. There's a few other guys that actually.
Somehow I don't think Blake's going to show up. I'm not sure Craig would show up. He would have.
Blake's got a car in Queensland already.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a motor that runs. He blew that up.
Oh, doesn't it?
That's a 25.
I thought it was replaced.
No. Oh, maybe it is, but
okay.
I don't know. I can't see Craig getting there from Tassie unless he had pre-planned it well in advance.
Last minute flight, that'll be fine.
I think Simon is the same deal, and then I'm just not sure if Jacob's making the trip up from Vic. Mitch can probably tell us if he's doing it. Jackson's only doing Cash Kings only. So that's a world of disappointment there, EG. I'm pretty sure you're looking at your top six still currently.
Oh, okay.
Your excitement, but in saying that, there's a whole bunch of people driving that event who could just totally fuck up somebody's chance at wartime attack.
What do you mean?
And a whole bunch of local guys, or like the local boys who are really good at that track, could upset guys like a Tom or a Matt Harvey by knocking them out early in the comp, and then
and then they don't get the wartime attack spot.
But then, based off rumors, you've already picked your winners anyway.
That was the secret between a few people.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just not sure. Like, clearly the rumor mill got out, but at least the results haven't got out yet. Like, at least people know that it's rigged, but at least you guys haven't leaked what the results are. So maybe, like, at least you won't leak the results because it's a bit hard. Like, if you leak the result and then somebody double spins, like, what do you do in that sort of situation? You call it a one more time and blame the other guy for dropping oil or something?
I'll make up something. That's all right, and we'll figure out why Blake doesn't have a car as well. So.
Uh, the internet is a funny place some days.
Yeah. So that was just some random post that, for those, I guess for those people that didn't see
Don't say
it,
too much on it.
it was just a
There's just
post on
been
the
some rumors
internet.
flying around.
Yeah, it was a post. I'm sure there was a lot of people tagged in, so I'm sure some people would have seen it, but it's been deleted now. So
I know, it's a
because
shame.
people are going to ask for context.
Um, yeah, your top six is going to be your top six. Jacob's going up, but only going up to watch Cash Kings. So your top six is your top six. I'm pretty sure Shoulders is driving, considering he's driving so much up there at the moment. So I didn't look at that list that came up today because I only just landed on the ground. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. How far is this guest away? We
Uh,
get him on. We get him. We're trying to get him on to help build his buddy social media profile, which he's been working hard on. And then he buddy stands us up. Thinks eating's more important.
maybe, I don't know. I told him to take his time. So I said Greg loves to talk, so it's fine. He'll just keep talking until he's
Greg's
ready.
Greg's jet lagged.
Okay, so
Um.
wait, what are you doing
Oh,
over there?
what am I doing? We
Yeah.
only just landed. We've only been here. We landed in Germany at 6:30 this morning, and it's now 12:30. I don't need exact numbers, mate. So we've done some grocery shopping, and the children are relaxing, being annoying.
They're just cranky
So this
because
is the
they
worst
haven't
part
slept
with
much.
yeah, that too. Looking at the entry list for the weekend, yeah, there could be a few upsets. It should be overall a pretty good event. Yeah, lots. Anybody who's not a regular DCA National Series driver is a regular Archie driver. So Senatani, who won the Pro Championship at DCA Queensland. Nick, who works for Zell Garage, and I think he won the AM Championship. And then Ben, who does a lot of demos out at Power Cruise and events like that with that group of guys. He's driving. There's most of the guys are Archie regulars if they're not. Yeah, if they're not DCA regular drivers. So that should be interesting. Stankowski will be back out there in his AU with the Fairlane front. He did a live stream on the DCA channel. He's taken his doors off the front of the car because it's a bit hard to get on his door if he doesn't have any. So he's removed the doors, he's saying.
All right.
So,
Troy's just messaged to say he's ready to go, so we'll connect him in. Hopefully the stream's still going. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
we're going.
All right.
As long as he's well behaved.
Okay. All right. So we'll be back shortly.
Just join him in anyway, mate. We don't need to buddy pause it.
Hang on. No, I'm just trying it out.
I'll show you where I found it.
Okay, and we are back with our guest. So, welcome, Troy, from Lippy
G'day, everyone.
Motorsports. So, are you good, Greg?
Yeah, just my live share audience is.
Flip it over to you, right?
Don't talk so loud, you dickhead.
Because you're already back.
They're going to do a whole lot more work on the ice tomorrow than they wanted to do.
And then I got you
Shithead.
Okay. I'm currently having internet issues, so if
Alright.
it sort of drops out, that's all right. We have it recorded, but I think I probably won't upload it anyway. So, yeah, if the stream seems a bit funny, then it's my end, not yours. Okay. All right.
All right.
Um,
So let's get some background. So Troy is one of the DCA national drivers from South Australia. Do you want to give us a little bit of a rundown on where it all sort of started for you? I know I met you a year and a bit ago at Mount Gambier for the first time, but I don't really have much background on you from before then.
I like to play it low key. All right, so I started 6 years ago. I had a few mates got into drifting, and I saw them start it and went, this looks like insane fun. So I thought, may as well build a car and stop doing it on the street, and haven't really looked back from there. Yeah.
And was that a 31 from the beginning?
Yes, I actually got my license in a 31, so went and built a 31. Not the one that I got my license in, that one got written off. But yeah, built another one. So
Being sensible, I'm sure.
actually, it wasn't my fault. I got cut off. So T-boned someone.
oh shit.
Yeah. Well, these things happen. It's life.
That sucks. Too many 31s died.
At least it was before the 31s had the drift tax. Yeah, now they don't seem to be around all that much. They seem to be a shitload in Queensland, and that's about it.
Yeah, there's none in SA. They're pulling like $5,000 again now.
Oof.
So I think if I write this one off, I might have to convert to the Dyke side and go an S chassis.
Yeah, just buy a 15 that's already been written off because people seem to be really good at that.
Yeah.
As soon as it rains in Sydney, there's about 4 that end up written off. So, people later life. So, from the time that you started drifting, did you compete in things like G1
Yeah.
at Malala?
What did I do? I did about 18 months where I just did practices and at series. And then I had our drifting SA president, Cheryl, she pushed me into entering my first G1. And I managed to qualify 32nd at that one. And with a bit of mechanical luck going my way, I won my first battle. And I kind of caught my competition bug from that, and pretty much entered every G1 from then on.
Yeah, and that was when G1 was at its height, sort of around that time, or was still on its height at that point before it sort of started to drop off, and now it's dead.
Now it's dead. We have got some big rumours floating around that we might have a new series come up, so hopefully. But yeah, at the moment we've got nothing here. But yeah, when I first got in it, we were having like 75, 80 entrants per round, so there were big numbers back then.
It's massive.
And I guess with Cheryl Drift Mum from SA Drift Mum sort of in the background down there, I'm sure she's pushing hard to try and make things happen, as well as Michael and all those guys down there trying to get things up and running. So hopefully I think rumor has it the Ben's only a couple of weeks away from a test event.
Yeah, I won't say too much on that, but yeah, there's definitely some big rumours floating around about that one.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you're in on it, then hopefully that's a good thing.
I know a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's good. Look, at the end of the day, any of that stuff starting to kick off is good. I know that they had that go-kart preview video, so actually it's a preview video, not too far away, I guess.
Hopefully, yeah. We'll keep pushing them anyway.
And then national competition-wise, this season's been your first full season of DCA?
Yep, that's my first full season, definitely. I think, what have I done? The last 2 seasons I've only done 1 round, but I did plan on doing another full season last year, but I kept breaking things, so I kind of put a halt to that.
Hey, I broke things every round last year too, but I still managed to trail on my car to every event and sit in the pits.
Nah, I couldn't afford to get into all the interstate stuff, so this year, luckily.
Yeah, and your car's headed up with the GH guys.
Yep. Yeah, that left Tuesday night for me, so.
Yeah, what is having even as somebody who's not sponsored by them per se, but having guys like that in your local scene, like what sort of difference does that make to you guys being able to know that you can do that instead of having to do the trek to Queensland, say?
Oh, it's huge. Like, especially being someone that we can trust, that we've known for years, being able to give him the cars and he can deal with the real stressful side of it of having to tow for like 3 days straight rather than us having to do it with our trailers. And he looks after us really well financially, so it's a huge relief for us, definitely.
Yeah, the prices that I saw come up were pretty ridiculous for Invitational up in Northern Territory, and for this seems like he was, really looking after anybody who was actually willing to jump on board and throw support behind the event. So add him to the list of your sponsors eventually, hopefully.
Definitely helps us out. What's that, sorry?
I was going to say add him to your list of sponsors eventually, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. I'll sweet talk him this weekend.
Take the knee pads with you.
That's the plan.
And then what's the plan moving forward? For next season, are you going to try and do another full season of DCA, or until there's more information out, you're sort of undecided on that?
I think at this stage I'm planning to do another full season, but I do kind of want to do a little bit more driving away from it as well, just to kind of fine-tune my skills a little bit. But I am aiming to do another full season, especially Tassie. I can't wait to get back to Tassie. That was unreal.
Yeah, you street drove down there, right?
Yeah, that was I got to do that with Dad in the passenger seat the whole time, so that was a pretty cool experience for both of us.
And you didn't get pulled over? Yeah.
That's
Go,
right.
G. No, I was going to give Shoulders shit for getting pulled over.
Yeah, I know. I realised that after you started
talking. So at least you got away with without getting in trouble, even though your car was probably stood out more than Shoulders did, but clearly...
I think by the end of the event, Shoulders definitely stood out more because he was missing half a body kit, but...
Yeah, fair enough. He did get done on the way back to the boat, so fair enough.
Yeah. We ended up going up to Cradle Mountain, driving through all the rainforest and that on the way back to the boat, so...
Oh, wow.
Doing a bit of sightseeing. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was something I'll never forget, that's for sure.
Is your car fully loaded? Like, did you actually get to, like, sort of have a bit of... what's the wording? So stretch your legs a little bit, or did you have to sort of baby it through?
I had to baby it through. My front tyres had literally nothing left. I had wire hanging out of them, so you turn in and it took about 4 revolutions for it to actually bite, so...
Okay. Oh, that's a shame. You'll have to spend a bit more time down there. There's really cool roads, but last time I drove down there, we sort of went for a drive, like a long drive back to the boat, and there was really some awesome roads that, I want to check out a bit more without a full car, like without all the shit in the car.
Oh, yeah. I think next year I might take a couple of support cars over so I can put everything in there, nothing in the race car.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
It's definitely one of the cooler events. That and the Mount Gambier Street event so far. Well, I suppose it's the only 2 I've done, but got nothing like that back here in SA.
Yeah, and then I was going to say Mount Gambier last year didn't go all that. Well, the event went okay for you, and then
got rear-ended.
And then the end of event activities tend to get a little bit loose, and you came off second best with that. Not the last one, but the.
Okay, it was the second one, wasn't it? Yeah, the
one preceding that, and then the last one. I think it's the way that suits you, I guess. Yeah, hopefully not too much more.
Oh, my internet's taking a dive. I don't know if it's No, actually, you would connect directly to Greg anyway. I wonder if he's dropped out. He's dropped out. He's gone. Okay.
He's dropped out.
All right. Okay. Well, I think he can connect back by himself anyway, so that's all right. So we'll just keep going through. Keep going.
Anyway.
So for me, the more the interest is would
Half
be.
480.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah,
Uh,
fucking internet in German. I think they have NBN over here too.
I think Australia would have. Hang on, let me just fix this up. There you go. Okay, welcome back.
Dickhead.
I was about to move on to something else that I was more familiar with, but you can keep going along with your line of questioning, Greg.
No. You go. Continue with whatever you guys are going.
No, I didn't actually get started anyway, so that's fine.
I don't even remember where I was at. You guys go. You go.
We're talking
Go,
about
Ichi.
Tasmania and the roads, and how cool Mount Gambier is. It's a really awesome event. I love doing Mount Gambier, just like going there, the people. But yeah, no. So to get back to it, so the thing I guess I was more interested about is your 31, because I've got a 31. It was my first car. I still have my first car, and that's when I started learning drifting. And you have your first car was the R31 as well, and you kept going with that. Where I sort of like bailed. I still have the car, but I bailed. So what made you sort of stick with the 31 over sort of changing to like what everyone else has, like a Skyline Sylvia or anything else?
I suppose like I keep looking at the national series sort of stuff, and you don't tend to see the 31s, and I kind of enjoy being different and making people talk for you kind of for the wrong reasons in a way. So I don't know, like a lot of people don't like my styling with the 31, and it kind of forces me, well, not forces, it pushes me to do more of my style. So I don't know, I kind of just keep looking at it going, I want to push the 31 as far as it can absolutely go. So hopefully next year I can get it to the World Time Attack and stick it to some of the real big boys with their semi-slicks.
Why next year? Why not this year, mate?
I don't think I've got the funds for this year. It's a bit quick of a turnaround from round 3, and I've got a couple of real big things happening between round 3 and World Time Attack. So
What happens if you
don't
actually
think
get
you
the
could get a-
spot?
Yeah,
I
I was going to
actually-
say, you don't think you can make it work if you got the spot?
I've actually got to convert the car to full cage and spend a little money to get up to their regulations.
So you're the
Yeah,
only car. We were wrong when we were speculating earlier. We thought all top 6 cars
Yeah,
had.
because I remember a
everything.
cage
you're the
in
only-
there.
Yeah, half cage with
Ah.
front intrusion plates, but yeah, it still needs a little bit of love in that one.
Oh, so it's got side intrusion, does it?
Yep. Yeah.
But just not the
I
legs
reckon-
to the front.
I reckon,
Yeah,
you'd,
it's just like off the main hoop, basically to the firewall.
I
I reckon you'd
reckon.
potentially get away with it. I think you'd get away with it.
No. Last time I was
Let-
at World Time Attack, last time I was at World Time Attack, they had a whinge about it. But because it wasn't in the regs, and I told them it's not in the regs. Why do I need them? And then so now I think it's in the regs now, isn't it? That you have to have a full cage.
Yeah, but so it's in High-Techs as well, or was in High-Techs. So, yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Emails to the right
have a
people
spot.
and things like. Yeah,
can
let's
get
wait and
the-
see.
I'll push it and see if we can get it, but I'll aim for next year.
I'd offer you a dirty S14 if you want to take it.
No, no, you can't do
I
that.
drove my brother's S14 actually at a drift practice recently, and I kind of smashed it up a little bit. So
Mine's a piece of shit anyway, so you can go smash it up.
Oh, is he dropping out again? Oh no, he's back.
Then I've got to make sure it survives. But I can't guarantee. Yeah, I did.
He's gone. He's gone.
I'm not gone. I'm still here.
Oh, you're back. Okay, there you go.
I never actually went.
Okay.
I think EG does it to me. No matter what internet connection I'm on, I feel like EG's fucking with my internet.
Well, my hands are here.
Technology working at its best.
Oh, we got some German fans outside honking horns at us.
Nice. Okay, so why did you stick with the 31 instead of going somewhere else? Like, have you driven? Well, you have. Yeah, you did mention just then you drove the S14, but did you ever consider it, or did you like drive the S13 or S40 or whatever, and then go, yeah, this is because that's one of the biggest things I had was what is that? Is that a train or is it? No.
No, it's a fucking car or a truck or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I actually have a 33 Skyline as my daily driver, so I've had that for 8 years and drove out in the street. So my plan was always kind of when that got defected, it would probably become my track car. But so far, touch wood, I kind of don't want it to happen now. I kind of enjoy it on the street. But I've actually toyed with the idea of reshelling into an S chassis, and then every time I kind of talk about it, everyone tends to shut me down and say, no, stick with the 31, be different. So I do that, and then I talk to Dad about it, and he says, no, let's just build one of the 31s that everyone kind of knows and talks about. So
Yeah, it's kind of iconic.
yeah.
What do you run?
But,
Are you running S13 gear? Like S13 front coilovers and all that sort of business anyway?
Yep, so I got S13 rears and the full S13 front conversion. And then
Yeah,
just had
so-
Shockworks. Shockworks have just jumped on board and they've just like custom made up some coilovers and stuff for it, so it actually handles now.
Have you?
Yeah, so it's just a different looking S13 really. Like, okay, a little bit different weight distribution and all that, but...
Have you kept the live rear?
Yep, still got the solid rear end.
Okay, and you haven't thought about an IRS conversion?
Most regulations won't allow it, so I've been told. A lot of the regulations won't allow it, so...
I thought you could use, as long as you're I thought a lot of them, as long as it's subframe mounted to the same points as factory, then it was still okay.
It's completely different. Yeah.
But then isn't...
Yeah.
But
There'd be
then
a lot of
what's...
cutting, I reckon.
But isn't the guy with the ute that did Mount Gambier, his is a...
Did he cut out? He dropped out?
We'll
just wait a moment. We'll just wait a moment. No, he's gone. I'm pretty sure he's gone. Yeah, he's gone. Okay. I can't actually... I don't know what Greg was going to go on about. Someone with a ute has...
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know who that would be.
Oh, I think you might be talking about... what's his name now? Oh, it's on the top of my tongue. He had the BA ute, the red one. And he had the 370Z rear end in it.
Oh, yes. I know that guy. Yeah, it was a Sydney car.
No, he's actually an LA boy. Anthony Hatcher, that's the name. Yeah, I told you it was on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, right. Okay. So I guess it'd be more for the other competitions or most of the other things where you can't actually change those things. But I'm pretty sure can't you get exemptions or something like that? No, he still dropped out, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I remember I used to help Jared at Klingberg out a lot with his Corolla.
Yeah.
And he did look into it, and because he run the 31 rear end in it instead of the K70 rear end, I remember ADGP used to get a bit shitty about it. They used to like really go over it, measure points, and they were a bit skeptical a few times about letting it pass. And that's solid rear end to solid rear end. So.
Oh really?
Not real sure about that one.
That's weird. Okay, so that's what's stopping you from doing that conversion is just the rules and regs.
Yeah. I kind of like being able to just like roll up and go to scrutineering and then just have a quick look and it's like, yeah, all sweet, pass, off you go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's understandable. Have you done anything to actually get some adjustment out of it or like change because you can change the angle of attack as well as there's some people actually go to the extreme of trying to bend the rear, the diff housing to get a little bit of camber. I think like even half a degree into it. They break axle all the time, but have you done anything like that?
No, I haven't done anything like that. I've done the basics. I've got the adjustable panhard rod in it. And that's about it. And then I just run my tyres at like 18, 20 PSI.
What did you box the?
Actually...
Yeah.
Hey?
You keep going. Yeah.
Oh, now that I've just put these Shockworks coilovers in, and we've got the 6 kilo rear springs in it at the moment. And I went out to drift practice here the other night, and the car has some like phenomenal speed all of a sudden.
Okay.
And I was talking to Chris O'Brien after the event, and he said to me, "All right, once you get back from Queensland, rip those rear coil levers out," and he wants to tweak them again and see if he can get some more drive out of the car again. So I think the car should have some serious pace next season, hopefully.
Yeah. All right. Have you done anything about like boxing the rear arms or anything? Because that's like a popular sort of thing. Get a bit more rigidity.
That's all standard, just a Nolithane 4-link bush kit, and then everything's
Okay.
just painted black, bolted in.
Wow. And you can't feel it because on my car it feels so like it feels very disconnected from the rest of the car. Like everything else feels kind of solid, and the rear sort of floats around a little bit. You don't feel that at all?
No, to be honest, it whole car feels like it's one big block, so it doesn't really feel like each corner moves individually too much.
Okay. All right. And then so front end suspensions S13, and that's it. S13 LCAs. Have you got knuckles?
Yeah, so I've got the 25mm longer lower control arms, and then I've got some old school Gemini brother knuckles. So just
Oh,
a cut
really?
and shut 13. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, they work a treat, to be honest.
Yeah, wow. Okay. I didn't realize they made knuckles.
Oh, they used to when they had their workshop, but yeah, I don't think they do it these days anymore.
Okay. And then driveline wise, what are you running?
So it's an RB25, unopened, touch wood, Series 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, it's a freaky motor. It did like 300,000 Ks on the donor car when I pulled it out, and that was 6 years ago. So
Wow.
and
okay.
it's making 355 real kilowatts on 17 pounds. So
Holy shit, that's massive.
the old touch wood bit.
Okay, that's a bit more than I thought from a 25 that's unopened. That's cool. That's awesome.
And it's with the Kennegar turbo on it, it's like on song by about 2,800 RPM too, so nice and responsive.
What turbo is that?
That's the TD06 25G with the 8cm rear.
Okay.
But I was lucky enough I got one of their prototype cores in there, being a sponsored driver and all.
Awesome. Okay. What about like the other thing I kind of like and dislike is the inside the cabin. I have so as a track car, I don't really like the interior and like the seating position. Have you made changes with that or anything?
Nah, but I suppose I'm quite a tall bloke, so it's quite comfortable. I got quite a I got the deep ditch steering wheel, and then I got like extent spacers on that and sort of stuff. So it sits the steering wheel quite close to my chest, but pretty comfy for me. But I can kind of understand why for like shorter people it might be a bit uncomfortable. But joys of being tall.
Yeah. Okay. I think that works better. Is that Greg coming back on? Oh, we'll just wait for him to start responding. Handbrake, just hydraulic.
Yep. Yeah, inline hydraulic handbrake.
Inline, not separate.
No.
Oh, that's feels disgusting. I really hate the feeling that you get when you pull the handbrake and your foot brake moves as well.
It's a weird feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, and so you can still push through it. It still kind of works, but it just doesn't feel. It feels different. I guess you get used to it. It's one of those things, right?
I do want to upgrade to a twin caliper rear, but at the moment it's working. So.
Okay. Oh, I think he's back. I see some video.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool.
I've been trying to listen to. What?
I'm so surprised how. No, I'm so surprised how bad the internet is in Germany. Like
Nah, I just sent you a message. It was the laptop decided it was going to do an update, so I think it was downloading updates in the background.
Right.
Because
yeah, I turned off all the other things that are going to consume internet here, except for this stream. So I don't even have Facebook open at the moment.
Well, this isn't what I normally use, so Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
research.
working, so that's good. My favorite part with Troy is he's so good at plugging his sponsors, but without it being like a straight sponsor plug. Like
Is it the hat you're talking
he just
about?
nah. You just slide in the names of
Turbo.
your sponsors really well. Yeah, he's like slid in the turbo. He slides in his new coilovers. It's good. No, it's good.
Even jealous there, Greg.
Nah. He's clever. Instead of like all these other guys, like, yeah, it's sick. You should just buy it. It makes you mad. Yeah, what? Like, what did you just say? He said he's like, just like, this is the product I'm running. It feels good. That's it. Is your Penrite stuff just through their regular ambassador program, or you're on a next tier up program from their regular ambassador?
Nah, just the regular ambassador for me. Hopefully next season I can bump up, but yeah, just the regular for now.
Well, I think you're their drifter who they give the most coverage to.
Yeah, I think. Oh, maybe. Well, don't know. Maybe.
You're probably the only drifter on a Penrite ambassador program that actually bothers to do their social media.
Maybe that's probably more like it.
I don't. Is there anyone else now? Because the only other person I could think of before was Brody.
Yeah, I think
Doyle
Brody
was.
and Dua. Is it Drew? Drew Motorsport from Victoria.
Yeah, Dewar. Yeah. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
The Bluebird who got written off at Vic Drift, and then they had it back together within a week for Maguire's Motorex.
Yeah.
And then Mitch was on it, but I don't know if Mitch Doyle. I don't know if he's still on it or not.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that one. But I think Dale's just got himself a little bit of a Penrite deal somewhere, but not through their program, through something else again. So
yeah.
There's a couple of us now.
Yeah, but yeah, you definitely get good coverage Penrite at the moment, which is, well, it's a plus for the scene, really, considering they've got the really strong presence in V8 supercars at the moment. And then to have your stuff bumped up, well, I guess, their team is current Bathurst champions. So to have your stuff being bumped up on social media by them is, no mean feat, and probably helping you with your Chinese turbo sponsorship and.
Maybe.
As long as it works, that's all that really matters. And I'm glad to hear and see that last video with the new coilovers was a good one. You've started doing a whole lot more social media than most of the guys in the scene are doing. How did you go with starting that, and how are you finding it now that you're a few videos in?
It's hard. It's like not so much hard to like film in-car stuff and stuff like that, but it's so hard to talk to a camera.
Yeah, honestly, the talking to the camera part is the weird part to start with, when you've got other people sort of looking at you like, hey, like, what do you like? Everyone, like, it's not such a weird thing, but then you feel more weird talking to it because you're just like, hey, like, I'm holding my camera, I'm just talking to it. But normally if you get people around you involved with it too, it's not so bad, I guess. And then once you get used to it, you're just like, oh yeah, it's no big deal.
Yeah, hopefully I can get to that point. But yeah, that's the daunting part, is talking to the camera by yourself almost.
Yeah, but I guess as soon as you get a few people start to comment and people are watching, if you sort of talk to the people that that are already watching, like, you get what I mean? Like, almost like if you're having a phone conversation, but you sort of know, hey, Greg and EG are probably going to watch my video, so I'll like sort of talk to them, or I got a reach of at least. Yeah, EG doesn't watch because he's a dick.
I gotta admit that I haven't watched it yet at all. I'm sorry.
See, I like, comment, and subscribe because I'm a nice person.
I'm just a dickhead.
Like your stuff too.
I'm just a dickhead, so I just say shit about it. I make up stuff, and then I don't know what else. Some other negative stuff. Yeah.
You're not going fast enough, all that sort of stuff.
This video is taking too long.
So what's next then? I guess I expect to see a big video come out from DCA this weekend.
Yeah, there'll be quite a few, I reckon. I'm in Queensland for, I think it's about 5 days. So I'll do a vlog for each of the 5 days and then in quite a few videos out of this one. So hopefully I'll have some content getting out again.
Are you guys going across to QR for the Thursday morning?
Not sure. So I'm leaving again on the Monday night. So
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Not sure what the rest of them are doing. They might be, I think. I think that's their plan.
Oh, because you're not doing Cash Kings.
Nah, couldn't afford that one.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. That's all right. A little bit. You're going to end up driving good this weekend, and then you're going to be like, I should have just entered it and stayed, and then potentially won a whole bunch of money, or potentially blown a whole lot of money.
Yeah, it's catch-22 really, isn't it? So, next season we'll go for the Cash Kings wing.
Yeah, well, and hopefully there's no retarded date clashes from other series on that weekend either. So, well, hey, look, realistically, 3 weeks in a row, if your car was already going to be up there, something like that would work. Hopefully, I think Luke would have liked to have had it back-to-back days again, but I guess the reality is you lose probably a good 6 hours of track time by running it on the Sunday compared to doing the 2 Saturdays, because he can run into the dark on the Saturday night, whereas on Sunday he can't. So
yeah, right. I'd never thought of it like that, to be honest.
So yeah, the back-to-back days would be really good, but I think from a logistics point of view, it just makes it for a better drivers event by having it over the longer period. But yeah, it does make it a logistical nightmare for you sort of guys. I think I'm booking flights and flying up on Friday, coming back on Sunday. Cash Kings, and it costs me like $300 or something without luggage. So it does add up fairly quickly. You know, if you're going to be up there, you might as well make it a family holiday and stay up there for a week or do something like that. If it's something that can be made to happen. So.
Well, it's actually my old man's birthday this Saturday, so we made a bit of a holiday out of it, and yeah, so that's why I want
Get rowdy.
I want to try the old boy.
Was it last year that Greenhill ended up on the podium and then booked a play? Somebody end up on the podium and then all the SA or Vic guys went down to the Gold Coast and ended up with this apartment, and it just got fairly loose. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was like Phil Branson and Scotty Miller in that group, I reckon it was.
Yeah.
They were rolling it hardcore.
And that's what got everybody else keen to do it this time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you see his post the other day? He's looking at trying to get a car to live up in Queensland.
Yeah, I did see that. A little bit sad to see him leave, I suppose.
Is he moving, or is he just trying to get a car up here?
I don't know what he's doing, to be honest. Whether he could even just be stirring the pot, to be honest.
Oh, is he gone?
He might have gone again.
Damn, I can't even continue with that line of questioning because it's like I don't sort of associate with all those people. I don't. Who are you talking about even?
Scott Miller.
Oh, really? Okay. He was really cool. But he didn't enter this season, I don't think, did he?
No, he didn't this season.
Okay. Did you drive with him much?
Yeah, I try to. Whenever we get out to local events, we try and do a few laps together. He's a good egg. Yeah,
he's one of he's pretty new, isn't he? Only the last couple of years he's sort of started driving.
Actually, I've looked up to him and he's driving since I started. And he's just always kept it real low key, and he's just always been more like the crack scene. But he's been in it for years. I actually bought my first car off of him.
The 31?
So, yeah, the one that I had on the street, I actually bought it off of him.
Oh, wow. Okay. I always thought he was a fairly sort of new person, because someone said that it was his first competition or something last year.
I think it was his first national competition. He's definitely been killing it. Our local stuff for the years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, Greg's still stuck. Oh, I don't know if he's back or not. Oh, he's back. Yeah, there he is.
Continue.
Well, it must be just you, Greg, that's causes this. Like the constant freezes and stuff. It's
Yeah, but like the thing is, this is like the little laptop that, yeah, I don't know. It's not even the desktop that I use, and yeah, I don't know. I can't win.
I thought the internet over there was supposed to be good.
Yeah,
I thought
I don't know.
everything in Germany is meant to be fast, efficient, and something else. Whatever.
Yeah, and if not, they put an end to it, right? So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking, like, considering that meme that, or whatever you want to call it, that was made about us, like, I was just happy to return to the home of,
Oh yeah,
you know.
I remember that. Yeah, I posted that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that picture, Troy?
No, I didn't see that one. What was that?
Some fans of ours,
Yeah.
we'll call them fans, made some, we're in some general outfits from a certain world war based around the country that I'm currently in, and so yeah, that was good.
I can probably find the picture.
So yeah, look, flick it up there if you can find it. So
my issue is, I
wanna...
think. Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. Keep going. I'll look at the picture.
Yeah. So next year, you're saying you want to drive more. Are you just going to try and get up to JDMX Park and places like that more? Or are you going to try and do some more adventures over to Victoria and things like that?
I think I'll definitely be almost living at Tail and Bend next season.
Yeah.
So yeah, try and do a lot of Tail and Bend driving, maybe a couple of X-Bike days, some LR stuff, and then try and get around for the DCA National Series again. Maybe a Vic Drift, depending on like funds and that, but basically just trying to get as much seat time as I can.
Do you have inside info on how often they're looking at running Tailem? Or not that you can say?
Not really with dates. I don't really know what they're planning with dates.
Not date-wise, but how regular their events are going to be?
I honestly don't know, to be honest. I haven't really been told much. I knew they were kind of looking at doing a bit of a season, like a series next year for local stuff, but that's about as much as I've been told, to be honest.
Yeah, so there's nothing like they're saying that, it'll be open to drift every second weekend or anything like that. You can pay for a weekday session or anything like that. Nothing that sort of out yet.
No, I haven't said anything like that to us yet. We kind of kept it pretty hey towards us, really.
Yeah. Is that coming from the SA Drift guys, or is that from what the SA Drift guys are being told?
I think it's more Peregrine being a little bit quiet towards us, but then again, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
Yeah, and I guess they've got supercars there in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I guess that at the moment would be their big priority, trying to make it look pretty for supercars, and then I'm sure after that it'll be full steam ahead for everybody else. And hopefully anyway. And then hopefully the go-karters are okay with the drifters and vice versa and all that. I can just see that potentially becoming a mess, but hopefully it isn't. But
I know the old superbikes used to hate us at Malala. They used to say we used to wreck the track and have rocks everywhere. So
that's dudes who wear leather tights and sort of bend over and do all sorts of weird shit. So we'll let them have their own.
Who are you? Are you describing yourself or someone else?
No, I'm describing the guys describing the dudes who ride bikes, mate.
Okay.
Probably just offended a whole bunch of people, but that's all right. I'm okay with that.
Oh man.
No.
I've got a mate who rides in the Isle of Man. He might be a bit upset if he heard that.
Yeah, but I think when you ride Isle of Man, you don't whinge about drifters doing damage to your racetrack.
Yeah, probably not.
I think that's a whole different ball game altogether. Not that one dirt drop dug a big hole and now it's dangerous. And then you see the V8 supercars go around that same corner and just drop off every single lap, and you're just like, yeah, definitely the drifter's fault, right?
Yeah, we did big static burnout somewhere and wrecked the bitumen or something.
Yeah, most tracks are anti-statics now anyway, and I think that as soon as a couple of those happened, most of the tracks now are like, we're happy for you to do a burnout, just make sure it keeps rolling. Even Luke will bloody own you if you do that at Archie. So I think there's
really?
there's one spot at Archie you can do statics, which is sort of inside the hairpin down the bottom corner, but anywhere else on the track, if you do a static, he'll tear your intestines out and wrap them around your neck.
Well, I'm doing the Thursday night practice tomorrow night, so maybe I should do a big static for him just to warm him up for the week.
Please don't. Please don't.
He got a bit upset with me in Tassie, actually.
Did you do a fairly static one?
Nah, not statics, but I don't know, a dirt drop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But see, I don't blame you on that one. I blame the judges on that. They're the ones who are telling you to go right out there, and you're trying to get out there. So three of the three. Yeah, no.
We said we'd penalise you, like we'd smash you if you didn't. Did a dirt drop.
But the hard part is that you're saying you want it as close to the edge as possible, and
No.
30 centimeters too far in,
and
and you're off the line, and you go 30 centimeters off, and you're in the dirt. Like,
no. I said in the 1 meter zone away from that line, that's 4 points. That's it. You're not going to get any more getting on the line or close to the line. You just have to be in that zone. That's 4 points. If you're not in that zone, then that's where you start losing points.
What about my balls out left when I tried to run the concrete wall?
That was scary. That was scary.
If that was similar to what if that's similar to what Bo Yates did back in the day before that wall was reprofiled, you probably would have written your car off.
Ooh. I thought I was riding it off when it went into the dirt.
Because that wall used to. I'm pretty sure that wall used to be an Armco barrier that sort of contoured with the same shape as the track. Where now I think it's straight. So if you do come off, you sort of follow a straight wall rather than the contoured wall that'll fly you back into the middle of the track. So you're probably fairly lucky. Well, you came back with no damage from it, so you're probably fairly happy with that.
Yeah, I was actually really happy with that one.
Did you like getting to drive turn the last two corners of the track?
Oh, that was unreal. Being able to just hold it on song in top of third gear. That was weird.
Third, you should be going fourth, mate. Not that I've done that yet, but...
I'm stuck between gears at most tracks, though, because I run 389 diff gears. So I'm like, it's too short. Second's too short and third's too long, and yeah. Well, mechanical stability takes over.
Yeah, that's fair. Just sit on a limiter instead.
Sometimes I don't know if it's my internet or if it's Greg that's causing these issues.
He's
gone. No, he's gone.
I'm here. I'm back. I didn't go.
No. Is he got? No, he's back. He's back.
My mechanical sympathy takes over way too much. I tend to drop back a gear and sit on limiter rather than punch a clutch 10 times around a corner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's fair.
I just go clutch it. Clutch.
25 boxes are starting to get hard to find, though.
Are they? I thought they're getting cheaper.
Nah,
they're like $1,800 down here now.
And a gear set that actually has third attached to it is hard to find.
Do you know how much they're brand new?
Like 2.5.
Yeah. So why wouldn't you just get a brand new one if it's $1,800?
I think if I blow another one, I'm just going to go bite the bullet and buy a G-Force.
How much is that though?
Oh, if you get a side linkage, you can get them for about $5. But they're rebuildable. That's the meal ticket though.
And the RB's boxes are not rebuildable?
No,
not when you smash it.
We got a
smash
guy called 1110 Engineering, and he basically tells you if you break your 25 bucks, you may as well go and try and find another one.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because that whole gear cluster is one piece. It's one cast piece. You can't slide the gears off that shaft.
Yeah, something like that. And it's usually third gear that goes, so it's that whole shaft you got to do.
Yeah. I think on some of the R154s you can. I think third you can't, but I think some of the gears on them you can pull off and replace. But I'm pretty sure when I've had the Z32 apart, yeah, once that, I think even second or third it doesn't matter. I think once you've damaged that shaft, the whole thing's a throwaway. So
Yeah.
and you wouldn't go saying like a Speed Tech gear set or anything.
Yeah, no, I've seen some real bad results. I don't like saying it, but yeah, I've seen some bad results. It's kind of turned me away from that one.
That's right. Maybe you'll make it on their podcast instead.
First.
Sorry, I figured I'd just throw it in there and go for a mad dig. So
That's all right. I haven't heard from them in a little while.
yeah, that's all right. Let's not give them. We won't give them any airtime. That's it.
Okay.
Done. We went international first, so that's all that matters. So you've got nothing super set in stone, but you're in it for the long haul. Do you think, rather than when you're looking at doing that full cage setup, that it's worth doing into the 31, or would you give it serious consideration and just leave the 31 as a DCA car and doing something a little bit more serious for, should you get in a position to do something like a world time attack or something like that and just slowly build a car with a full cage?
Yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I think I'll probably cross that bridge when I come to it. But the dude that did the roll cage for me seemed pretty keen to help me out with going to a full cage. So yeah, I think I might cross that bridge when I come to it.
Yeah, that's fair. And have you seen all the new stuff with the James regs where you've got to have like a few extra gussets and all this sort of crap now? It's just going to make it all a little bit more painful for the drift guys, I think.
No, I haven't really looked at it, but hopefully the cage builders have, because then I can just handball that to them.
Yeah, it just means a little bit extra money for everybody when they go to get their stuff built, but part of the game, I guess.
That's part of it, yeah.
Still trying to look for this photo. I've got it, but I've got the page, but I can't load the picture because the internet's too slow. Anyway.
I'll see if I can find it, and then I'll shoot it through directly to you.
Oh, there we go. I got it. It's all loaded. What's that? That's like 5 minutes of it loading.
for what, like less than a megabyte picture, maybe.
Yeah, it'd be tiny. Okay. Anyway, probably. So what I'll do is I'll chuck it up on the stream, but then I guess we'll get someone to describe it. So I just have to resize the photo to actually get it onto the screen. Sorry.
Technology first.
Yeah, I'm just using free software, so fine. Oh, hang on, I screwed up.
So Troy won't be able to see it. I think you can you share it in through Skype?
Can I?
I think so. Can you do share screen or whatever?
I've got a few screens.
Well, not that screen, not the one where you don't close those tabs. Don't show anybody that stuff.
Okay, all right. Here, I'll just transition because you can keep talking anyway. So,
all right.
Here you go for anyone that's actually interested in seeing it. It should be on screen.
All right. Dream car.
For me, I reckon the 180SX with an S15 front end on it. In midnight purple.
I just missed out. I just missed out on all of that.
Okay, all right.
Go again. Yeah.
Dream car for me, the 180SX with an S15 front in midnight purple.
Engine combo.
Definitely the RB25.
Only 25, no 26.
Nah, too hard. 25's where it's at.
Gearbox combination.
Hollinger. Definitely a 60 Hollinger.
Ooh, okay. And then steering setup.
Probably some of Stewie Bryant's stuff, actually.
Really?
Depends how many months it takes to get to you.
Yeah.
No, I was saying how.
Actually, he can just go and pick it up because he's in Adelaide as well. So
It's got to be manufactured to pick it up.
No, it's in the post. I heard it was in
That's
the post
fine.
already.
Nah.
There's a tracking number that was given as well.
We're just putting shit on him. I know Blake was on his ass to get it ready so that he could have his car ready for Cash King. So just gonna put shit on Stewie. So we still love him. And his stuff is good. So
yeah, I honestly thinking about putting some in the 31.
ooh,
That's interesting.
so what's in at the moment? Just cut and shut stuff.
Yeah, just some old school Germany brothers.
Ooh, pre or post all the addictions. No, I'm joking.
I think they set the jig up years and years ago, to be honest.
Was it based off the one that where Dave put it into the fence at Oran Park?
Ooh, yeah, I'm not sure.
You need to look up that video of Dave burying it into the wall on South Circuit at Oran Park.
I remember
That's my video.
when that happened, and then he got out of the car and threw his helmet, and it bounced so far. But it's more his brother's reaction next to me in the pits as well. Like, he was just as angry when that happened.
Yeah, I remember watching him. Like, when I first started watching drifting, I remember watching him like almost have punch-ons with himself at G1s.
Yeah. I know.
The funniest part is they're such nice dudes too. Like, if you just go and have a conversation with them, they're genuinely really nice guys, and then all of a sudden things will just click with them, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh no, let's avoid them for a little while.
Yeah.
And I think last year, and last year at Mount Gambier, I think EG was scared for his life when he had a gold S13 flying towards him where he was sitting judging. So.
No, I just sat there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, but nobody had really anywhere to go at that stage, so you sort of just ride it out and wait and see what happens.
No, the other two guys freaked out, and I just sat there because I wasn't going to go. I wasn't going that fast. Be fine.
If it was a Mustang, you might have been dead, but.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then I'd be worried. That's true.
Dale O'Reilly has asked, "What are you doing with your BCL wing?"
That's not going anywhere.
You sort of have a little bit of a rub on, but even now that's not that long with the way the line runs around there. So it should come back in one piece.
Hopefully.
It would be if we went back to Calder Park, that's when it would be in pieces.
That's when I put flint sticks on it.
That would actually be kind of funny.
Yeah. So I've got neons on it for this weekend, so.
Yeah, cool.
Imagine if everybody started just hanging bits of flint off the back of their car, so when they're running walls, it's just huge sparks everywhere.
No, it's not flint. Like, you know what the F1 guys used to do? I think it was titanium or something. They had plates that actually stuck under the car.
Yeah.
So that it would actually do that. I
It
think.
just makes titanium risers.
But I'm pretty sure with the F1 cars, it would have been to stop their carbon fiber and fiberglass and all that from dragging on the track and being eaten through, and then the drivers ending up with gravel rash on their ass from having nothing underneath them anymore.
And it also looked cool.
Well, yeah, it looks cool too. I guess you could have used. I guess, yeah, they could have used plastic or something instead. It's giving everybody ideas. So. Do it, or do it as your whole rear bar.
Well, then it is an idea. It's an idea.
Do the whole rear bar, then you don't have to worry about it, and then put the wing up high enough that it doesn't catch anything.
And then we'll ask Fink if he can do Gambier as a night event.
I'm not. I don't know if it'd do that well on the Armco, but it might. Not as good as.
I reckon if you run a different section. So if you did up the hill, that'll look cool. Like if they lit up the whole road, the access road to the valley, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Well, they do it for the for the hill climb. So
Maybe that's an idea for Finky.
yeah, no, he'll be lazy and just do the bottom part.
It's funny because it's true.
So I think that back to your dream car. So that's SV15 front, strawberry face, 180 in midnight purple, RB25, 6-speed sequential.
Yep.
And a cost front.
Yeah, I've got 0. I can see you guys fine, but I'm just watching the stream and it's having troubles. So I don't know how many people are still watching. Or they've...
Says it's still live in the 7.
Really? Okay.
Because
I've got I have a thing to say, hey, how well the stream's going, and was red for a long time, which is red's bad and green's good. So, yeah, it looks like we're back. I think.
Yeah, it's still going. It's still going.
Really? It looked like it dropped out. It definitely said it dropped out. So.
Yeah, I just think it just paused up for a second. And then, where do you want to? Where have you? I guess you haven't driven too many places. Where's your favourite place that you've driven so far?
So far, probably Tassie.
Yeah. And then
my favourite place so far.
And then dream place to drive within Australia, and then dream place to drive outside of Australia.
Ooh, within Australia, I've got to go do Darwin. If I don't, Mitch will stab me. So that's up there. And then probably for the world, I really want to go and do Mondello Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you would have gone somewhere more high speed or somewhere a little bit more crazy, but
I just love the way, like, especially watching like Michelana go into that first clip. How you can just be so aggressive through those first 3-4 clips.
Which the course that they regularly run, because I think they've got configurations.
Yeah, but it's always that same turn one, pretty much.
Is it?
Where they kind of like it's like a blind uphill flick at the top of the hill, and you basically just stand on it through the first couple of clips.
Yeah, I think they always. Occasionally they've run from the front straight backwards, but I think most of the time, even when they run their different layouts, that turn one is their traditional. What is it? I think it's like the third last corner or second last corner of the main circuit. Is normally their first corner. So. Yeah, that's not where I was expecting you to say, but...
Nah? What'd you think I'd say?
No, I don't know. I just thought somewhere maybe a lot more high speed or... Yeah, but I guess it's a pretty nostalgic track in a pretty big series, so... And it's somewhere that you eventually might be able to go if Luke keeps his relationship with them.
Hopefully, that's the plan. Next season, I'll take it next season.
and then after that full season of IDA in the 31? IDC in the 31.
Definitely. Got to send the old box overseas.
That'd be cool.
Most people
parts for
it. Good luck with body panels, but I think other than Japan with the 2 doors, they didn't exist anywhere else, did they?
South Australia, South Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah. South Africa. There's other countries as well, but there's a couple. I don't know if they're actually sold in Canada, but there's a few over there for some reason. But the Australian 31s.
That's really random.
Yeah, the Australian 31's like its own model kind of thing. So we're the ones that yeah, it's hard to say. So like we've got the Borg Warner rear and the pillared sedan shape, and that's it. And that's like kind of unique compared to everywhere else, where they have the pillarless and the IRS versions as well. But I think South Africa had the pillared ones, but it was the live rear was different. So they had some a Nissan, whoever Nissan was dealing with, they had their own live axle thing there.
You can tell he just done way too much research into his 31 love.
31s. I was one of the moderators on the forums for I can't even remember what I was moderating, but yeah, I was one of the moderators on the 31 forum. So a lot of information's escaped me though, or even like maybe I'm mixed up with a few others. So hopefully that information's correct. But I know that there was a big group in South Africa. I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, Japanese ones, they're quite different. They do have a model that was live rear. It's a taxi one, but their rear end was like the diff was. It didn't look like a Borg Warner. It was very very much thinner. So I don't know what they are. Anyway, that's my knowledge about that stuff. So
You learn something new every day.
yeah. Alright, continue. Sorry for interrupting.
Well, if they came factory with a IRS at some stage, then he should be able to put an IRS in his car and he should be okay.
I think it was only really the Japanese ones that did though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but
pretty
it
much.
shouldn't matter But I think you should be able to get away with it. It's the same as how FD lets them run the IM because it had one all-wheel drive variant. So, never know. Loopholes.
Wouldn't mind sticking it to someone on like a 265 semi-slick with a bog stock 31, basically.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that rule really sucks.
Nick's saying that the HR31 IRS is garbage, but I think it's more if it's come with that sort of setup previous, like, then you can get away with putting a different style of that same setup in, I guess.
It looks really
Yeah,
different. It's very
I
different.
think Shane Murphy years ago put an R32 rear cradle in his HR31.
Who,
And
sorry?
that was pretty much it. Shane Murphy. I don't know if you might know that name or not. He's a Adelaide boy. He put an R32 rear end into his HR31, and that was pretty much a direct bolt in.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to check. I've got both of them here, but I know there was a guy that did a R33. Oh no, it's R32 in a normal Oz line, like an Oz R31. Who's the guy? Garage 7.
Got Dex.
Dex,
Declan
yeah.
Walsh.
I think Dex did it.
Oh yeah.
I think before, because he has a 32 now, doesn't he?
Yes. I think he might still have his 31 kicking around somewhere, but yeah, he's got a 32.
Okay, yeah. So I think he did a IRS conversion. I know one of the guys in Canberra was trying to. Then I think he gave up because it's too much work. So.
My live studio audience is annoying me.
Oh, cool. What are they doing?
They're trying to ask me questions, but I got the volume turned up really loud so I don't have to listen to them.
Okay.
Jesse Lang put a 33 cradle in his 31.
He's a good egg, Jesse Lang. I like that bloke.
I just can't believe. So all over G1, them giving you shit or giving people shit about doing that sort of modification is the reason you can't do it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Fucking gay.
No.
Like, it's so stupid. So stupid. That would make so many. That would make so many cars in this country eligible for competition.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Jesus. Was that run under cams? Is that why?
Yeah, I'm not sure who it would run under. Not sure. Was there something about like you weren't really allowed to modify suspension pickup points and yeah, it was all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff that went to it.
Just want to know.
But I don't know. I'm kind of in the mind frame now where if I'm going to go to that much effort to change a car, I may as well just like change cars.
Yeah, exactly. It's only so much, especially with like I would imagine that trying to get because do you run your body's pretty much standard, right? You're just running plastic front, plastic rear bars.
Yep. For now
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. But I've
Yeah,
got a big
but-
plan for that.
Oh,
But I'll keep that a secret for you all.
massive bull bar, just retrofitted so you can just if somebody's beating you, just plow into them and write their car off.
Like a big truck one.
No, like the ones they run on the muster utes. That basically
Yes.
like the front of them just dragging on the ground.
Yeah, definitely got to put
Just-
one of them on there.
Just like that, and just write people off.
Add 500 kilos to the front end.
If the other car's not, if you're not planning on the other car finishing the battle, then it doesn't really matter how much your car weighs. Oops, didn't make the first corner.
Was that a brake check? I don't know.
I thought the person braked. I thought the person brake checked me, and I just didn't pull up in time.
That hurts when you're like the recipient of that, though.
Would that be a body kit sponsor coming on board with you, or is that you having to do your
I
own?
think it might be more of like a myself sort of thing, but
Okay.
there's someone. Yeah, long story short, there's someone in Adelaide now that will basically do anything you want with fiberglass. So
Nice. So you just have to make some molds and stuff like that, and do what you like.
yeah, pretty much. So hopefully we can make a 31 look even meaner again.
Yeah. It's just you're probably the only one who's actually chasing them, so that's what makes it expensive or hard to get.
Yeah, exactly. I've hit up Christian Pickering a few times saying like, "Hey, what kind of body kits can you get for me from Japan?" And he just laughs at me.
Yeah, fair enough. Because are they the same EG or no? Are they the same length as the two doors? Can you run the same side skirts and stuff?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have a two-door in my backyard, but I
don't
know.
believe so. I think the 4-doors are quite long compared to the 2-door with side skirts. So I'm
Okay.
actually running Cephii side skirts.
Okay.
Some really
Yeah.
rare Aerotech ones, and then I cut 2 inches out of them.
Well, you'd be surprised how similar some other ones are. Because I actually bought some Estina ones, and they're only like 20 mils too long.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I kind of like measured it up. Because I just went to there's like the recycling sort of store next to the rubbish tip, and just looked through there. And oh, look, there's side skirts. I kind of measured it like just by like putting my arms out. Yeah, that's like similar to 31. And then I asked him how much it was. He's like $5 for both of them. So I just, all right, I'll just buy it and then check it, take it home and check it. So they were similar, and I think Pulsar as well is meant to be similar as well. So
Yeah, I think it's Pulsar, and then the BA XR6 skirts, they fit on there pretty much straight up as well.
Oh really?
I don't feel like that would follow the body lines all that well. You've gone from like this real boxy
No, it
shape
doesn't.
to
No. No.
It doesn't, but somehow they fit on the car.
But
I was going to say, if that's your plan, please don't.
no.
you can get those and modify it to make it look different.
Yeah, but it's drifting. He's just going to go.
do that.
He's just going to go drive in the dirt at Simmons Plains again and then rip them to shreds anyway.
Yeah, I'll just keep wrecking genuine Cephii ones.
Far out. It's crazy. You
There's not
know,
many of them. They're all in Thailand anyway, aren't all the Cephis now? So, or Indonesia
Yeah.
and Thailand.
I know when I bought the side skirt for it, the kid that sold it to me goes, "Oh, what are you putting it on?" And 31. And he goes, "Oh, do they fit?" I went, "Yeah, if I cut it in half and take about an inch out of it." And he almost like started crying and wanted to take the side skirt back off me.
31's better anyway.
It's a bit solider.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Cephis. Sorry, Tom, if you're listening to this. Not a huge.
No, I think it's easy enough to make them though, because you just sort of make a mold out of something like a plug, and then you just make a mold and another, and you can pop out skirts. There is also R31 House as well. I think they're still making stuff, but
I think they are, yeah. Then there's K-Mac Aero, who are making a bit of stuff for us as well.
Yeah. So there are options around, but I know 31 House is freaking expensive.
And plastic's cheap and doesn't break as easy.
Exactly.
And I also learned that EG has a 31 two-door in his backyard that I didn't think or know he had. So that's interesting.
It's not straight.
Oh,
I bought a shell, and I bought all the pieces to put it back together, and then I started going to Japan. So I've not put the car back together.
Oh, but the shell's straight, but it's
No, it's
not.
not. No. So this guy was drunk and he decided to go for a drive and he crashed into a tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but luckily, it was only like the rear quarter, so it didn't actually touch the glass. He'd also hit the front, like he hit the front and back, but the front was you know how people cut the holes for the intercooler? It only just sort of crumpled up to there, so it's not really like it's not that structural. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna cut it out and just re-weld it. That's it. I haven't. I can't do body work.
Yeah, I know. I saw your new bash bar on the 32.
That's not body work. That's a reinforcement bar. I had to do that really quickly before Rob took it to port.
Bash.
So yeah.
Yeah, but that involves welding, so that worries me a little bit.
Nah, it's alright. It's alright. Like my cradle was welded by me, and I drove that last Revolution Day, so it was fine. Anyway, enough about me.
you.
Yes.
So, I know we spoke a little bit about it off air. You were a member of Team Madhouse and no longer a member of Team Madhouse, but it seems like it's given you the freedom to go out and do a whole lot more of your own social media stuff. I know we spoke about that a little bit earlier, but sort of breaking away from them and then moving into doing a lot more of your own stuff. Sort of what's your aim with your social media reach and being out on your own now?
I suppose for me, it's I'd like to get YouTube to the point where I can make a video kind of once a day and kind of make a bit of a paycheck off it, bit of a living off it. So that's kind of the aim of it all, really.
It's a lot of work.
And is
a lot of work, a lot of sacrifices and commitment for it, but I'm in for the long haul, so we'll see what happens, I suppose.
And then I find, well, I don't know about Adelaide, but in Canberra, like it's really hard to find content as well, unless you can either drag it out or I don't know what you do, but it's I find it's difficult.
Definitely hard to come up with. Yeah, it's hard to come up with stuff that's actually entertaining for people to watch. I know I've made a couple of videos that I haven't uploaded because while you're editing, you kind of get bored of it. You're like, well, no one's really going to watch this, so.
The funniest part is, and we have spoken about it previously, is sometimes if the person's voice is just good and people enjoy listening, they'll listen to whatever the hell that person's talking about and they don't really care.
I'm screwed then.
I don't think. Nah, my studio audience is giving me shit about mine. Yours are. I think yours are all right. I think for yours, for some of them, I feel like there's not enough talking.
Yeah.
Particularly like your last.
The last video I just put up, that Shockworks coilovers one, that had a lot more talking than a lot of the videos I've done, and actually got a lot of subscribers off it compared to my other ones. So
yeah,
I should do more videos like that.
Yeah, it's definitely, especially if people are just sort of binge watching and not paying a whole lot of attention. Like if they're shoving a video on their computer and then playing stuff on their phone or swiping right, swiping left like these young people do, with their Tinder premium accounts, which I didn't even know was a thing.
I didn't know there was a Tinder premium.
Yeah, you pay $30 a month for unlimited swipage.
Nah, that's tyres I could buy though.
Yeah, well, I know, but this is what the young people of today are doing, isn't that right, our studio audience? So yeah, I would just if that's your plan, I would keep putting more stuff out. But even the amount of hours of video that me and EG have put up, we're only just past the halfway mark to being able to monetize our buddy channel, and we're up past. What are we?
I don't know. I can't look it up because if I look
I think we're like 2,500 hours or something of view time now.
Jeez.
And I think you're gonna get to 4,000 or something in a 12-month period. So,
Yeah,
what I would keep doing, what I would keep doing for what you're doing is keep putting your videos out and just keep your sponsors happy how you have on this, and just try and pick up more and more of them so that it makes it more and more self-sustaining until the point where, you know, if it transitions to a point where you're making actual money, but at least then you're not spending your money to go driving.
Yeah, I'll be happy with that, to be honest.
Have you started spamming your videos to other groups and things like that?
No.
Well,
I haven't
sharing, not spamming, but sharing.
Nah, so I only really share it on my stuff,
Okay.
my own pages, but yeah, I haven't really started doing it as yet. I kind of wanted to get to a point where I had a decent following and I don't have to sponsor posts or spam them around, sort of thing.
Yeah, because it seems like sponsored posts or even So promotion is key. Like I've seen people put up rubbish. I don't know what Greg's laughing about, but then they've just sort of shared it around everywhere.
I'm getting stabbed with a pen by my studio audience.
And you're smiling about it.
Because I want to start stand up and start smacking the shit out of them. But
Well, just do it.
Is that all right when I'm in a different country?
Yeah,
I can't get done once I get home, right? I just don't come back to Germany.
The other thing was there are groups as well on Facebook that I think you can share your videos, and they're actually like other YouTube people that they want to like create sort of become content creators themselves, and so they share their ideas and videos and how to do things and all that other stuff to help improve their chance of actually becoming like a YouTuber, if that makes sense.
Yeah, might have to look into that.
But yeah, it's all things that you have to sort of push and promote, and I guess do a lot of work to get there. But I think from the sounds of it, you're trying to do everything organically.
Trying to, yeah.
So.
Trying to.
Yeah, and you get a fair bit of reach from it. I'm still not sold on the team name.
Right, the Lippy Motorsport.
Yeah.
What's the team name?
As long as
What's the team name?
I don't know. It's no, I don't think people take the piss too badly. I know they took the piss on your post up, but that's all your mates down in South Australia. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll take time for it to grow on me, because I think because you've done everything so by the book so far, that then going a little bit more relaxed on the team name, I'm like, is that the right direction?
I don't know. Well, because I did it because a lot of people can't pronounce it. Like, there's so many people that I meet, and you go to them, what's your name? Troy Lipczynski. Lipczynski or something like that. And
yeah.
And then I thought, well, if people are searching for it on like Facebook and stuff, I'll never be able to spell it, and announcers can't say it. So even in Tassie, I know they end up going from like Lipczynski Motorsport to Lippy Motorsport. So I kind of did it for more that aspect. But
yeah, that's fair. That's fair then.
I'd love to stick it with Lipczynski Motorsport, but I kind of figured it would probably never really get found properly. But
could you do Lipczynski Motorsport and then be Team Lippy? Or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I could do that, I suppose. Yeah.
That way, when you're going to your sponsors and all that, your major one is still Lipczynski Motorsport, but then your merch and stuff could be under Team Lippy or something like that to be more. Yeah,
funny you
more.
say that, actually. Did you see my latest post on my Lipczynski Motorsport page?
I have been on a plane for
a long time.
There now.
I think it was.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
wow.
I saw the. I did see the sticker. I saw the logo. I didn't see stickers.
Yeah, well, that's basically what the stickers are going to be. So I'll hand them out from now on, I reckon. So maybe I could do Lipczynski Motorsport and then Team Lippy stickers and merch.
Yeah, no, I think just going to sponsors like Penrite and all that. You have done it so by the book and so professional. I think it's probably a good way to keep it going. But the Team Lippy stuff as your merch and your bread and butter for a little bit of money in the background is probably, I would think, would be the way to go to start with.
Yeah.
And then if Team Lippy sort of takes up from there, then just use that for everything. But when you have to register your business because you're making all these sponsorship dollars that you're starting to pay GST on, then you cross that bridge.
One day, hopefully. That's the dream.
I guess because a lot of people have these thoughts and then don't follow through. What was your breaking point where you were just like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna get my shit together and start doing this?
I wanted to prove to people that I could. I had a lot of people saying that I couldn't do it and I wouldn't do it, so I wanted to prove them all wrong.
And was that pre-leaving Madhouse or after leaving Madhouse?
Comes and goes in waves. So I had people saying that 31s can't be competitive, so I proved them wrong with that. I had people prove me wrong about the whole Madhouse thing, like actually starting a team. So I tried to prove them wrong, saying that the team idea was a good idea. Of course, it didn't work out in the end, but I definitely put my all into that one. I had people saying to me that I'd never be actually able to drift, sort of thing. So yeah, it comes and goes in waves, but I always find something to prove people wrong with. So
No, it's good. It's a good motivator, and again, considering how expensive it is to do, if it's something that you can help self-sustain off, definitely worth doing.
Definitely.
All right, come on, EG, you can't sit there with the stone face, mate.
Me, my internet is too shit. I don't know if you guys can hear each other, but sometimes it breaks up for me, so I don't even know what you were talking about for a little bit just then.
We were just talking about how much of a wanker you are, so.
Yeah, I figured that from the little bits of information I got. So that's all right. I'm not disagreeing with that, so that's fine. I did look up your sticker though, so it looks cool, the green and purple one. And that's
Thanks, buddy. I'll give you one if you let me qualify well on the weekend.
No, that stuff's already pre-planned. So, but, yeah.
And at this stage, you're in the top. Based off current entries, you're in the top 18.
I've seen that. So does that mean I get a buy run to the top 4?
Probably not quite, because I already paid. I'm paying each of the judges $20 for me to get the win. So.
EG, I'll pay you 25.
Now you got to get money to the other two. Thomas has already told me he's down for the 20 each. So.
Damn.
So what's the aim for the weekend?
I want to step on that podium. I want to be on a podium for my first national. Actually, my first event, I want to be on a podium. So.
And then.
Especially being Dad's birthday, like the day of the event, I'd love to win the trophy for him.
Did you go to? I can't remember actually. Did you go to Archfield last year?
No, I didn't.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Have you been? Actually, JDMX Park's probably kind of similar to that to Archerfield. Have you been there?
Yeah, I did the DCA State Series last year there.
Okay. All right. So in your car, you're sort of don't have any sort of issues with a small tight track, because I know some other people sort of say just it's not fast enough. My car doesn't sort of belong on a slow course or something like that. I don't know how they described it, but yeah.
Now over at X Park, I kind of just found lock stops and just basically drove on lock stops. So
okay.
The tighter the track out, kind of ran the more angle.
Yeah, right.
EJ has expectations now. It's just that look of like, okay, well, I expect you to lock stops the whole time then.
Pretty much. I have an idea of how I was going to sort of set the criteria, and yeah, it's going to sound easy, but I think it won't be easy to do.
To be honest, that's pretty much all the DCA layout so far. You look at it on the whiteboard and you're like, that looks easy, and then you're like, this is hard, man.
Okay.
I remember my first meet Gambia, I'd never driven in the wet, and then we had to go out and qualify in the rain.
Oh, that
remember,
was
like-
insane.
Oh, I actually had never driven in the wet before that day, and yeah, went out there. I was standing in the pits, and I went, "This will be easy. I've done this like 10 times already today. It'll be easy."
Yeah.
And yeah, went out there the very first lap. I went, "This is not easy, not at all."
No. So that was the first year, wasn't it?
Yep.
That we did. Yeah, that was insane rain. Like I don't know how everyone sort of drove that, because it was like, even watching, I was thinking, holy shit, these guys are doing really well to get through the rain, because it was crazy, and then because there was like rivers running through, so I could tell it was inconsistent, sort of going up and over, because there's like water running in one spot and not in another spot, and then it looked hard. It looked really hard.
It was sketchy.
Yeah, I could totally agree with you with that, and yeah, I was like, man, how it's so. Yeah, and then another group actually had a sort of dry run as well, so it was hard to sort of like place people in a fair spot, if that makes sense.
Well, I was pretty happy where you put me, because I ended up with 14th that day.
Okay, oh, that's good. Awesome. Yeah, well, yeah, we tried to had a sort of bit of a chat about it, and yeah, so try and stick to the criteria, and then we'll do that first. So that, yeah, the key thing is criteria. So I actually can't remember your run, but if that's if you got 14th, then you did well, because that was a very big competition from memory.
It was actually, yeah. It was. What was it? It was packed, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like
it
80
was
odd
massive.
cars.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, it's such an awesome
Yeah.
place.
Hopefully, we can go back next year.
I'm
Yeah, it's
pretty sure we're going back.
Yeah, at this stage it's on.
Yeah.
I won't clean up my bodywork before then.
There will potentially be a round or two before it. So, from my understanding, may or may not even end up as a final, depending on. I know that that's what had been spoken about, but I would imagine potentially not, considering I can't see Luke expecting drivers to try and get back to Tassie before the next Mount Gambier event. So, just because it's a big ask.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think at this stage, yeah, it'll be a round or two deep at least by then, hopefully, with the swap over. But hopefully more of those details come out over the 2 DCA weekends coming up.
Hopefully.
And then guys like you can prepare, and I can prepare, and hopefully I have a car that works, and you have a car that puts you on the podium.
Hopefully.
All right.
Okay, a question that I haven't brought up in a while, but have you watched Initial D?
Yes, I have.
Ah, yes. See?
Has Greg watched it yet, or what?
Did you watch it with the Japanese with English subtitles, or did you watch the dubbed version?
I watched the English dub version.
Ah, no!
Doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Nah.
No, doesn't count. In EG's eyes, that just doesn't count.
No.
Ah, come on.
There's so much more feeling with the Japanese one, even if you can't understand it. It's just a way to. Oh
EG
man, I hate the
EG
English dub.
EG, don't be rude. He's from South Australia. He might not be able to read.
I can't. Dyslexic.
Hey, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do as a job? Are you in the automotive industry?
I used to be. I'm actually a qualified diesel mechanic, and I did that for
Okay.
6 years. But now I'm just working at Wolf Blast making wine.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're big drinkers.
But you're in a mechanical background, so doing all your work yourself is not a big ask.
Not a big ask, but I don't really do it. I'll still go to my boy CC. He's
Okay.
still after me.
But if you're at the track and you have dramas, then it's not really a big deal. That is why I'm able to come and steal tools off you, because you have everything there ready to go.
I don't know. I'm kind of sulky when I break stuff. Like, if I break it, I tend to go, nah, let's put it on trailer. I'm done. I'm going home.
Yeah, but Greg
That's how I
needs
used
his
to be.
tools. He needs to fix
Exactly.
his car. Who's gonna supply him tools if you're not there?
Well, it's the random little ones like your circlips, pliers, and all that sort of thing that I need to chase off people. I've got my basics, but yeah, I don't feel like I need to go that advanced just yet, but I probably should.
I've had some of the weirdest things borrowed from me too, like little spark plug wire brush, like little miniature wire brushes. I've had them borrowed and stuff like because people want to clean spark plugs and stuff like that. And it's like, what are you doing that for at the track?
But why are you carrying it? Why are you carrying it?
It was floating in
You
the
know what I
toolbox.
mean? Like it's the same sort of thing. If you're carrying it, then there's a chance that you will have needed it at some stage, or think you will have needed it. So
Maybe. Oh, I tend to just forget stuff's in my toolbox and it just floats around.
or is that what you use as a toothbrush when you're underneath the car?
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Getting covered in shit.
It's exactly what I use it for.
See, that's it.
Sounds like you, Greg, more than anyone else.
Yeah, I know.
I actually use it to comb my hair sometimes.
Before you end up with your stylish new hat.
Exactly.
I guess another question. Who's the best person? Who's, I guess, your greatest rival that you've actually battled against? Who would you say is like your sort of nemesis in this range of scene that you've actually driven against?
At the moment, it'd be Dale. I've battled him a couple of times now. I've got a rerun out of him once, but he's beat me every time so far.
Okay, so you're ready to take him down? Oh, was yours the battle I had a whinge about after Mount Gambier, where I thought...
I think that was me and Shanahan.
Oh, maybe where one of you dropped a tire. Maybe I was putting shit on you for dropping a tire, and they didn't see it or something. I can't remember, but yeah, no, I guess.
Battle with Jack.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that was the one where I whinged and said it should have been a rerun, even though Jack lost the cooler piping because I think you dropped the wheel. Yeah, I feel bad. I shouldn't have brought that up. Did you see that?
Nice stab. Nice stab.
Yeah, did you see the dickhead in the green S14 who got knocked out in the top 32? Yeah, that guy was shit.
To be honest, I didn't think I won that battle anyway, so I thought he had me on the chase. So
that was the one where he blew the pipe, though, right?
Yeah,
that was the pipe blowing one. Yeah, it should have been a rerun. Either you won or it was a rerun. You couldn't have lost that battle with what happened with his car. Let's be fair. And then so you're going to knock out Dale in the top. Let's say the top 4 this weekend. Maybe the top 8. You're going to knock out Dale. And then who in Australia would you like to battle the most? Then who from overseas would you like to battle the most?
I love battling Chopper. We had a rerun over in Tassie, and he's fun to follow. In the world, I'd love to see if I could stick it to James Dean.
Yes, okay. That'd be interesting. You gotta take your 31 over there for that.
Yeah, so he wants to go over to Ireland and try and stick it to the best Irish driver in the world currently.
I want to do what the Aussies, no Aussies been able to do yet.
I think Mitch Lander's pretty much got that on lockdown coming really soon. I would imagine if he can keep a program together for next season, that'll be his year I would imagine he'll put it on the podium, on top of the podium at some stage. That's just waiting to happen.
I think it might even, is it this weekend they're up there again in Punchestown or something like that?
I think
is it this weekend or next weekend?
I don't know. I really can't look up anything without the internet.
I'm pulling it up now.
Like I feel like
Yeah,
if I don't move, if I keep as still as possible, then the camera doesn't need to send any extra information. So I save a bit of internet there.
Yeah, it's on this weekend. Is it a racetrack?
It's Punchestown. It's like an old horse track or something like that.
That's
new.
Is it new? I've never heard of that before.
Or is it
old. So it's like back when Mike Dean used to drive and stuff like that. Like James's brother.
Was it used as a? That's not the go-kart one though that they run, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Could be.
I'm googling this. You got me intrigued now. So if I drop out, blame Troy. It is indeed an old horse racing track. I don't know if this is the one where they use the car park potentially. Yeah, it'd have to be a car park event because it's a car park event because there's no racetrack there. It's not like it's not a Sandown or anything like that. It'll be a car park event, but.
So do they park the
interesting to
cars
see.
on the horse racing track and they drive in the car park?
Potentially. Let's have a look now. Got me intrigued. No, there's heaps of parking all over the place, but I think it'll be a fairly tight track, I would imagine, looking at the amount of space that they've actually got to play with. So that could be interesting, and that would definitely potentially play into the favour of Mitch over there. So maybe he can be the second one to go over there and do it.
No, wait, we only have first in this channel.
Oh yeah, we only have first. Sorry.
Yeah.
Troy, we're gonna have to cut you off there, mate.
Damn.
Well, he has to just go over there and kick him out.
Isn't it second goes over to UK or something like that, and third's Texas or something? Or did that all get dropped?
No. That still exists. Luke just hasn't been hyping it. Second gets the drive in King of Nations or King of Europe, and third still gets the Matsuri trip over to Texas. So
That's the one I'm going for.
yeah, I think the Texas one would be the most fun one, most amount of actual driving. The other two, nostalgic value is good, but if you want just straight up retarded seat time, I think the Texas one's going to be the one that everybody wants. And then next year, it sounds like he's going to split them up, and each round winner will get one of those prizes. So,
There's a bit of incentive to win something, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's more what it is. It's rather than feeling like after 2 rounds you're out of the championship and you can't win anything, you can still show up to say a third round and you scout some of the big off in numbers because people are like, oh well, I've done shit all year and my car's broken the last 2 times, but at least I can still go there and try and win something. And then I think the World Time Attack spots, if that deal was to happen again, would be based off the championship. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the big boys trying. The big boys trying to make things happen.
It's still
good.
well. I'll give him credit.
I like it.
All right. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover? Any questions that aren't about turbos on 2Js? From my studio audience asking in the comment section.
Turbo 2Js.
Exactly. This guy has RB25s, all right? We don't talk about 2Js in this episode.
I got the poor man's equivalent.
The poor man's equivalent. No, that would be a 1J.
1.5J.
They're expensive now too, though.
Yeah, it's because of all the bloody guys in Sydney stocking up on all of them and then selling them all.
Selling them for like drug money.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody's going to be going for Mang motors soon because that's all we'll be able to afford.
Everyone will start swapping out CA18s.
It'll be CAs and 3.6 litre bloody Buick motors and shit.
CAs are worth dollars. I sold my CA. It was blown up, and someone still bought it just for bits.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Get good money for it though.
Yeah, I got a good chunk, and also an SR like engine that had the same issue. So pretty much we just swapped from a blown SR to a blown CA, but he gave me $500.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, that's really good. So, whatever. And and he gave me a gearbox as well. So yeah,
I think you're definitely the winner out of that one.
I know, but he says you can't get bits for it. Like you have to go, and he wants CA, so he's like, yeah, you give me everything you've got. And all right, here you go. And then he says, he'll give me money for it. All right, cool. They're just so hard to get bits for, he said. So yeah, there's that. And then yeah, so anything else we need to cover?
Anything you want to cover, Troy? We've been leading this one. Anything you wanna put out there? Anything?
Statement,
you want to thank
call outs. Yeah.
Thank your sponsors again. Wish your dad a happy birthday. All those things.
Happy birthday, old boy. Actually, I wouldn't mind starting a bit of a discussion. Scandos
Ooh.
or single flicks?
Oh, this is a topic that comes up. Has come up often recently because of the different entries at Wakefield. EG is a single flick man. The Canberra boys all try and single flick.
Try.
Well, I didn't mean it like that, but I'm pretty sure they all can do it.
I'll give it a
flick.
go next time. Yeah.
And then I did. That wasn't aimed at you. And then all the Canberra boys call it the Sydney flick, which is doing a massive Scando entry into short course at Wakefield. So there's a little bit of a rivalry going on.
At slow speed. So the issue is the speed. So that's what I've got. Because I used to initially start everything with a Scando in the 31. And then what I felt was as I got quicker, you need more. Like I want to get more speed through the corner, and if you do a Scando, you wipe off so much speed. Like you use so much energy going one direction, and then when you go to the other direction, you're going slower. So just to carry the speed, I stay straight longer and just do a really quick flick in, and then that gives me more speed coming out of the corner.
What do you prefer to watch though?
Me?
Yeah, so like I suppose as a judge and as a spectator, what do you prefer to watch?
Depends on the course and depends on the requirements. So generally, it's not really like when I say single flick, it'd be like a quick feint. So it's not so much because a Scando. What I would see a Scando is like a weight shift to
Big lock.
Like sort of dramatic, sort of like as if there's a corner there, as opposed
or an actual
to
proper drift, like you're already in drift sort of thing.
Yeah. So so you would be sliding one way and then you would switch the other way, but still on the same piece of road, like the same straight section of road. I think that makes sense. I feel easier if I sort of draw a diagram, but trying to describe it in words, because I'm sure I'm getting it wrong, the explanation wrong. But it would be sort of the issue I have is you wipe off so much energy, like you slow down or you wipe off so much speed, which is like your momentum, that sort of energy, and then whereas with a sort of like a really quick feint, your momentum's still forwards, so you're not sort of pushing it left and then right or right and left, whichever one direction or another. It still looks like it's cool because the car sort of turns away from the corner and then turns into it, and that's where I think it looks cool. And the speed and distance, because with more speed is like longer entry, so you're actually flying into the corner for longer and faster, if that makes sense. And that's what's cool, because like you're much more committed. So it's like watching a car come in sort of. Oh yeah, I guess the easiest way is it's someone coming into a corner. You'd prefer to see them you'd be more excited to see them coming as fast as they can to sort of break for it, rather than sort of like turn one way and then sort of prepare to turn, if that makes sense, like an old person kind of thing. You know how they like swing out and then turn back in. So, but then that's sort of generalizing, because some other times like a big flick. So there'd be courses like, let me think of one. So maybe Bihoku, where there's actually like quite a dramatic sort of expansion of the road where it is sort of you do turn away. This is just an example. Like I'm just trying to think of one quickly. That's still somewhat of a single flick, but there is quite a big movement off the sort of line you're on and onto like the outside line, if that makes sense, even though it's still the outside of the course. But that's sort of what I feel. But I still did scandos when I was starting, and I can sort of understand that if the run up was like super long and you did a scando like way further back, like you're at top speed or something like that, and you did it, then that's probably cool as well. So it really depends on the course, I think.
Yeah.
And as a judge, you just have to do whatever the judge says. If the judge says do a scando, you have to do a scando, and and if that's what's cool, then that's what's cool. So
It's good enough.
what about you, Greg?
Yeah. Jesus.
Okay.
It's the ambulance coming. It's the ambulance coming for you. No, I'm personally working more on the single flick. I think something like Jake Jones's video where he's got like the huge, massive unlock scando into turn one at Malala.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of that again because it ends up washing off a whole lot of speed. Where I still think the major bit of the action should be the last flick into a corner, where when you've done a massive scando like that, you're having to wash off a lot of speed to then transition back and have the space to transition back. And then, you can get back on the throttle. And, of course, you can end up doing a big smoky sort of drift out of it because you've washed off all that speed, so you're able to get all that wheel speed back, which then, ends up just blazing the tires off it. But I think, like Malala, I think Stewie does some cool scando entries at Malala because the emphasis is still he'll use the full width of the track to do his feint, which is almost like doing a scando, but it's still more of that feint feel where the movement towards the outside edge of the track isn't as aggressive as that final big kick in, as opposed to doing like a big double movement sort of entry. I'm more into that. Purely off the commitment, and even as a driver, like I'm not good enough yet to do a cool single flick where I know I'm going to make it every time. So for me, it's sort of like you just hold on and hope you can do it. So that's what I was trying to do the last week field day, and I think that's definitely cooler. But I struggle with that in the chase. In the chase, because I always feel like I'm going to dive bomb and just ram through the door of the car in front of me because I just can't get it onto angle without being too busy staring at their door.
Isn't that what we're supposed to do in like DCA stuff?
but I'm talking like I'm talking like this, not like this.
Sydney flicks are different as well. Sydney flick is approach the corner sort of at like a slow pace and then kick out. I didn't see that.
No, you don't want to see it, but
yes, it is.
Considering my studio audience has highlighter on his forehead as bloody eyebrows, he should be careful. That's what I travel halfway across the world to work with. Never again.
So a Sydney flick doesn't really have much speed. That's what it goes in with like sort of like.
It's defined as a Sydney flick too.
Huh? Yeah, well, Sydney flick is just sort of like door left to the corner and just like them come on the power, flick one way, and then flick the other way, or like scando into it. So it's kind of like creating an extra corner. So if there's like a cone in the middle of the track just before the entry, so you've got to sort of flick around that, and that's what you're doing. And that's what you kind of like dawdle up to it, and then you just get on the power and go through. So that's why there's a lot of people coming in, and then.
What's Troy's feeling on it?
I'm single flick all day, every day. I'd rather single flick into a corner. Okay,
that's why I asked, because he knew he'd get back up from us on it.
I'd rather come in like just flat out and just load up one side of the car and just snap it to 90 and basically try and hold it flat the whole way into the corner.
So
try and be like, real big and aggressive the whole way in, sort of thing.
yeah, it's interesting though because there's like there's a point where I don't like single flicks as well. So yeah, it's really weird. So I really need to see, like, I like seeing the car's momentum, like with the speed, the momentum's like really pushing forwards, and then you sort of do the flick rather than you just sort of come in and then you just sort of like you have pace, but it's not like the momentum of the car. Yeah, and you kind of like push on the power. It seems like you only use like 50%. Like, this is just a generalized example. Say 50%, and then you just sort of you've turned the car, got on the power, so the back stepped out, and it's like then it sort of pushes around the corner, and that's like, it's hard to describe it, but that's something that I'm not interested in. Like, I like to see the motion, like the when you do the flick, your car's still going forwards, and that's and your car's sort of like twisting, so you're forcing the car to like be on this sort of angle where it naturally doesn't want to be in, and that's what I think is cool, rather than sort of like turning and letting the car step out. So it is like a single flick, but it's kind of not what I'm into.
It's more of like a power over flick, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's still like a single motion where you get on and you turn away, but yeah, it's really hard, and like some courses you can't do it. They're not like that. So, and then in those situations, that's fine. Like, yeah, I can't think of. Yeah, some of the like sort of tighter courses, it would be a Scando in, which is alright. I don't mind, but yeah, anytime there's like somewhere where you could build up speed, that's when I'd like to see the single flicks.
Yeah. Turn 1 at MLR.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I can appreciate some of the big Scandos that you see. Like, but then when they do their Scandos, they have lots of speed, and they'll flick. They'll do the thing where they turn away from the corner, and then they're still going straight, if that makes sense. And then they'll turn back and keep going straight again, and they'll still have like lots of speed, and that's cool. As a Scando, I think that's really cool. But it's not just like left and like you just sort of swing out right and then swing and then go left, and then that's it's not really the thing that I'm into. Yeah. So
pretty much.
But that's not really a Scando, actually. But that's right. Whatever. That's the explanation I'm going to give at the moment. It might change next year, or might even change tomorrow. But that's my explanation now.
I'm with EJ because I'll get kicked in the dick if I don't.
Why?
Nah. I just think going in as hard as you can. Of course, like depending on the track. Like if it's your first time at Calder Park, for example, and you're on the main circuit and you're going into that bowl section around the wall that heads onto the drag strip or whatever. Like, yeah, like don't go do retarded shit there. Like, your car's gonna get ridden off. Like, work your way up to that, or try it, but do it, further back from the wall, and then as you build up speed, work it out towards the wall or whatever. But if you're somewhere like Wakefield where there's really not much to hit, or Malala where you've got a huge amount of space to go flying off the end of turn 1, like Jesus, like it's the perfect playground to go and to try that sort of thing. So if people aren't trying a variety of things anyway, and they're like, oh yeah, Scando is king or single flick is king, or you clearly haven't tried the other one yet. But yeah, Scando's easier.
Scando's easier. I think that's why I call it a Sydney flick rather than a Scando. Scandos have difficulty. But
we just lost half our subscribers, mate.
That's alright. I already pissed the other half off anyway, so we got none.
No, that's alright then. Yeah. That's done. This channel's dead.
So I'm gonna start again.
We'll punch it through to episode 30 and then call it a day. First Australian podcast to get to 30. All right. Any other topics you want to bring up, or save it for another rainy day?
Save it for a rainy day.
We'll get you back on after you win next weekend.
Done.
Do you know who I really want? I want to get Chopper on. Have you had many conversations? Either of you had long conversations with Chopper? I've chatted to him a little bit, but not a huge amount.
He's kind of my hero at the moment.
Yeah, I'd like to get him on. I would hope that we can get him to talk as much as he's happy to comment on stuff. So, but I guess most of the people who have had to come on have always been, you've been good because you've started speaking to a camera with nobody to talk to. So that's made you even better when there's actually somebody to talk to. And then a lot of people have been worried about coming on and then have done really well. So maybe we can try and grab somebody like Chopper after the weekends that are coming up. And then
I reckon he'd be good on here.
Yeah, we'll get him on here. We can maybe get both of them. Get the drift couple.
The happy couple.
There's drifting involved. Nobody's happy. And then, yeah, so do you want to quickly plug your social media platforms?
Oh, yeah. All right. So I've got Lippy Motorsport team on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. They're pretty much all under Lippy Motorsport at the moment, but I might change them back thanks to Greg's input.
Yeah, I'm thinking YouTube's so hard to do the names on because I was thinking like the YouTube one you could have both, but I think it just gets harder to try and you got to work out which.
Like fine by then, I reckon.
Yeah, but you could do Lipshinsky Motorsport team and then like dash Team Lippy or whatever on YouTube.
You just have channels. Like you have the main channel, then you have sub channels.
It's hard enough. No, fuck that shit. It's hard enough to get enough content out without like this channel, a sub channel. Blah, blah, blah. Put all your content on one bloody channel. I'm already subscribed, so just do that. Don't make it more difficult for me.
I know. I seen you comment on my last video.
Yeah, I'm giving back. Even if I am
an avid follower.
Even if I am one of the drift Germans. By this stage, most people won't have listened this deep in the episode, so we should be safe. And then, quick last plug for your sponsors.
So big thanks to Penrite Oils, helping me out with all my lubricants. Kenny Go Turbos, obviously helping out with all my turbo needs, and Shockworks Coilovers for making the car absolutely unreal to drive.
And then, happy birthday, Dad, for the weekend.
Happy birthday, old boy. We'll bring you home a trophy.
21 with a few years' experience.
Yeah, the old bugger's turning like 53 or something like that this year. And yet he still comes to Mount Gambier and tries to party with all of us. So
53 is not that old.
I think this year's Mount Gambier. I think it was me, Mitch Doyle, the old man, and Ethan were walking back from the pub at like 4 a.m. on the Saturday night. So.
I think
we were busy. We're busy trying to do an episode of this shit.
I think I have one late night at one DCA. I think it was in Tasmania. I never did it again. It was so bad the next day.
Yeah, the next day is a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
These South Australian boys seem to drive better off the back of that stuff. So
yeah, I know. Yeah. Every time they have a good night's sleep, they don't do well. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah. So, want to go out and party then Friday night?
Normally my car's done by then anyway, so. When do you get to Queensland?
So I'm in Queensland at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Wow.
So we'll be on the plane at 20 to 6 in the morning, so.
You should be in bed. And then when do you get up there, E.G.? You get up there Friday night?
Afternoon, I think 3:30, 4 o'clock. Somewhere around then. I get there around the same time as Steve, so.
All right. Don't
It's,
let Easy give you a hard time on the weekend.
Steve wants to celebrate his birthday, by the way, so he's having a big party at wherever. I don't know where he's hosting, but
40?
40th, yeah.
Yeah, 40th.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy birthday, Steve, for your 40th birthday. He's gonna be so pissed off if he listens to this shit.
Someone should definitely rock up at the track with a big sign for him.
Happy 40th, Steve. Somebody let T know she'll get it, or Whitney. Whitney will make that happen. All right. So if you're in Queensland this weekend, get to Archerfield Drift Park for round 3 of DCA. Again, I don't think anybody understands the pressure that these top 6 boys are under for the no pressure at all. Well, you're the lowest out of those 6 anyway, so you can't really go anywhere. The only place, but it's good. You're in the best position. The only place you can go is up.
Nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah, I looking at the championship and who's actually showing up, I don't really think you can go backwards.
No.
So you can't. You've got nothing to lose. I think you're equal points with somebody in 5th, right?
Chopper.
But I think he's got higher finishing results, so that puts him that little bit ahead of you or something. So yeah, you've got nothing to lose, and then there's a lot of pressure on the other 5 as well to hold their world time attack and their international drive spots for the top 3. So
just need to have a battle with Hemmings and Dale up first. That's all we need.
Just pop them out.
Yeah.
And then following weekend, Cash Kings. So if you're around for that, get to Archfield Drift Park instead of the other event that's happening down the road. Sorry, my bad. I got alliances in places. All right. Well, we will. Anything else, AG, or are you good?
No, I'm good. We'll try and figure out what to do next week as well.
Yep.
So
next week, EG's in Japan, and I will have just arrived home, but we'll try and work out some way of getting this going. And thanks to my in-house special guests. See, look, she's ripping the merch, so that's at least she's well behaved with that. Can't say much for the other one. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next week, hopefully. And good luck this weekend, Troy.
Thanks, buddy.
Go and kick some ass. And be nice to our Sydney boys or our New South Wales boys.
Nah, can't do that.
No, I don't mean on the track. I meant just go and be nice to them. Logan was worried he's going to have no friends because I'm not going to be up there, and there's not many of the Sydney guys going, so he's not sure who to attach himself to. So if you see a lonely dude in a dado, just tell him his hair looks good.
Done. I'll tell him that Greg said his hair looks good.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
Cool.
You don't hang up straight away. Don't do the awkward Curse Sundays thing.
No, they did the mic drop. I think it was some of the other guys. Yeah.
Yeah, do the awkward hang up. It's weird.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
All right. Thanks for coming on again.
Bird out.
All right. Let me just close the stream off. Where is it?
No, he's already stopped the stream.
No, I haven't.
Or maybe.
No, I haven't.
Oh, come on, mate.
Hang on.
Just wasting downloads now.
Hang on. No, it's all right because I don't have any more that I have to stream for the rest of the month. I'll be in Japan.